Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys back in today's video with another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review, and today we're looking at the brand new Target exclusive 2-pack, the Phase 1 Clone Trooper Lieutenant and the 332nd Ahsoka's Clone Trooper from Star Wars, Ahsoka. Here's the side art. I'm kind of bummed that it doesn't really match up with the rest of the Galaxy art. Would have loved to get these two in that lineup. Here is the back of the box. Throughout the Clone Wars, Clone Troopers fought separatist battle droids across the galaxy, though little Republic support could be spared in helping Ahsoka Tano assist a besieged Mandalore. A 501st Clone Trooper division pledged their loyalty to Ahsoka with repainted helmets. Oh, and it'll work upside down. Here's the UPC. All right, now without further ado, let's open this up. And here they both are out of the packaging. Yeah, absolutely loving it so far. Let's go over the paint and sculpt for both of them. I think first we'll go in the order of like appearance and universe. And yeah, here is that Phase 1 Clone Lieutenant. Guessing this is like based on the Battle of Geonosis Clone Lieutenant that we see in the movie. Let's see if I have him off to the side. I actually prepared this time, but I still cannot find him. Here he is. Yeah, this is a version of a figure that we've gotten already. This is the Walgreens exclusive Clone Lieutenant that came out years ago, like right at the beginning of the Galaxy Art Merle style of packaging. Yeah, and you can see the difference between the two is very, very stark. This one is the sculpt, the proportions are more based on that movie sculpt that we see, whereas this one is based on Ahsoka Tano, the live action version, where, you know, this one was all computer generated. This one, is mine like turning yellow? Oh, sorry, I get distracted easily. But yeah, this one is based on that live action version that we saw in the show, and it looks fantastic. The only difference really between the two, other than like the sculpt, is the fact that the 3 dots on the chest piece are missing here. They painted in the lines right there. And let's see what else. The sides are also painted in, going to the back. Not a whole lot of else going on. And look at all the scuff marks right here and on the side of the arm as well. Now, I don't really think going over the entire sculpt is truly necessary, as we have seen this figure so many times. It reuses absolutely nothing from that original Clone Lieutenant that we see here. Everything is new compared to that. However, it is sharing the same pieces as 2 other figures. Now, this is also a Clone Trooper from Attack of the Clones that came out at the beginning of the Galaxy Side Art Merle style packaging. Yeah, this is what most of the body is based on. However, this newer one has an updated upper torso, shoulder pads, and knee pads compared to this older one. But everything else is essentially the same. So yeah, that's where this figure really gets its parts from. This helmet, however, is brand new, I want to say. Yeah, look at the size difference between these two. I think like this circle back here is just a tiny bit bigger. Yeah, this one, I'm confident in saying that it is a brand new sculpt. And taking a closer look at the helmet, and it is splendid. You know, the paint apps are all super crisp, as well as like the rest of the body. But here is where it really matters, you know. And even goes on the outside. Now, they did miss the spot a tiny bit, but I'm guessing mine was just like just a QC. And it's not even like a really bad one at that. Now, this is the take to end all takes. I actually prefer the Phase 1 armor compared to the Phase 2. I know, I'm sorry, guys. Look, guys. I grew up on the Clone Wars animated show, as you may all be familiar with, on Cartoon Network. A lot of its early run, you know, they had the Phase 1 armor, all the Clone Troopers. And those early episodes were the most likely to end up in like a rerun, just at random times during the week. And so, yeah, I just grew accustomed to seeing these, like this armor, and I just ended up appreciating it more than the Phase 2. Yeah, it's cool. And now going over that Phase 1 Clone Lieutenant, he of course is able to pop off that helmet as well, showing the head underneath. He also comes with a DC-15A and a DC-15S. Now for the Phase 1 Clone Trooper, his head is able to move up this much, go down that much. He has a good amount of pivot and some side-to-side movement. His arm is able to move up this high and is able to move back this much and go forward that much with the butterfly shoulder joint. He has upper bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow, and he has a standard wrist hinge going up, down, all the way around. His diaphragm joint allows him to move this far back and this far forward. And with that diaphragm joint, he's also able to pivot and move side to side. His leg is able to kick out this far, go out to the side this much, go back a tiny bit. He has upper thigh rotation, a single jointed knee that bends in at a 90-degree angle and also has rotation. And his foot is able to move this far down, this far up, and he has... But is it as cool as the 332nd Clone Trooper? This is the look that that the 332nd Battalion adored during the Siege of Mandalore. And dude, I just love this look so much. I love the paint so much. Ahsoka Tano is one of my favorite characters. And it's just because, like, when I was a kid, just being able to look up to her, you know, being a teenager in the... Holy shit, is that bicep swivel? It is. That nice sentimental moment was ruined. But, oh my god, I didn't know these figures had them. This one too? What the fuck? Him too? You have it too? This is, like, the best figure of all time. This is the best sculpt of all time. This is my, like, live genuine reaction. I did not know this new mold had bicep swivel. That's insane. I've just, like, grown too accustomed to, like, okay, so this is the Walmart version that came out years ago, and this one doesn't have it. So I've just, like, grown way too accustomed to the old body mold not having those biceps. So what? That's insane. And it's so well hidden that I didn't even notice it was there. Wow, that is truly phenomenal. Anyways, yeah, the paint apps on this figure, yeah, the sculpt is pretty much the same. It's just the paint apps are different here, and you can see, like, scratch scuff marks all throughout it, and then on this side as well. And going up, there's even blue around the wrist, which I absolutely love. You know, great attention to detail. But this is a mess. Yeah, I'm sorry. That bicep swivel just, like, took me out of it. Let's just continue comparing these two, all right? But yeah, you can see, like, the Walmart version was a bit more scuffed compared to this newer one. The paint job was a lot rougher. Not like it was bad. Just like he had seen more combat action. And it continues up on the chest with the little symbol right here, not reaching as high as this one. Again, this one is based on the Clone Wars show, whereas this one is based on Ahsoka. So that flashback sequence in Ahsoka. The shoulder pads, different scuff marks there, none on this side, which I kind of like. I like the asymmetry of it. But yeah, going to that helmet, and this paint job is very clean, and this one, whereas this one is, like, a lot rougher. I'm not sure which one I actually prefer. I think, you know, this one is good for, like, showing a 332nd that was in battle, whereas this one is, like, maybe, like, shortly before battle or charging into battle. Because yeah, it is very clean up here, the paint line. And going back here, you can see, like, even more scuff marks on the top. Honestly, dude, this is so hard. Dude, I like them both equally. I love the paint on this one, how it looks like he, like, painted it on himself, like, really fast before they traveled to Mandalore. Whereas this one, he looks like he was, like, you know, painting it comfortably. He wasn't, like, in a hurry. I will say I like the orange used here a lot more than this one. This one's like a darkish, blood orangish color. I think I have to go with this older one. I kind of like this one just a tiny bit more than the newer one. Not saying the new one is bad at all. I think I like them, like, equally, but if I really had to choose a head sculpt, which one I think is better, this guy. But speaking of helmet, let's get into accessories, and the first one is just that, his helmet. And it is able to come off very easily like that, and you get a Clone Trooper underneath. And yeah, just love this new clone head sculpt. It has been on a lot of the brand new Clone Troopers. Love it very, very much. Kind of wish we would get, like, more hairstyles for the clone, so we could maybe, like, swap them in between. Next up, he comes with his DC-15A. and his DC 15S. Now going over the 332nd, his head is able to move up this much and go down a tiny bit. He has pivot and some side-to-side movement. His arm is able to move up this much, go back this far, go forward that much, and he also has upper bicep swivel, rotation at the shoulder, and he also has a single jointed elbow that also has a bit of rotation, and he has a standard wrist hinge going up, down, all the way around. With his diaphragm joint, he's able to move back this much, go forward this much. He has some side-to-side pivot and side-to-side movement. His leg is able to move out this much. It is able to go to the side that much and go back a pretty good amount. He has upper thigh rotation, a single jointed knee that bends in at a 90-degree angle and is also able to rotate, and his foot is able to move this far down, this far up. For size comparisons, here is the Clone Lieutenant next to the old Clone Lieutenant and the old Phase 1 Clone Trooper. Here he is next to Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker. And then Clone Wars, Ahsoka Tano and Anakin. Siege of Mandalore, Ahsoka and Captain Rex. A Battle Droid and Asajj Ventress. A bootleg 501st and Commander Oppo from Obi-Wan Kenobi. C-3PO and R2-D2. Morbius and Commander Gary. Now onto the 332nd. Here he is next to a bootleg 501st and Commander Oppo from Obi-Wan Kenobi. C-3PO and R2-D2. A Battle Droid and Asajj Ventress. Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker. A regular Phase 2 Clone Trooper and Commander Jesse. Then Captain Rex and Siege of Mandalore, Ahsoka. Clone Wars Anakin and Ahsoka. The old 332nd Clone Trooper. And then we have Morbius and Commander Gary. Finally, here is the Lieutenant and the 332nd next to each other. And here they are with the Marvel Legends Spider-Hams. Alright, time for my final rating, my overall thoughts. I think I'm going to give him a final rating of 10 out of 10. I'm going to give this figure a 10 out of 10. I know I've been handing them out like crazy lately, but I just have had such a blast posing him around. And now that I know about his upper bicep swivel, I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, how did that not register with me beforehand? I think up until now, I've just been posing the new Clone Troopers, twisting their elbow joints instead of the bicep swivel. That's so, oh my gosh. But yeah, the articulation is phenomenal. The sculpt is great. The paint apps are also great. And it just looks like a Clone Trooper. It feels like one. It is so much fun to pose around. 10 out of 10, easily. Now onto the 332nd. What would I rate him? Honestly, it'd have to be the same. It'd have to be another 10 out of 10. Just a perfect figure all around. This could be just my Clone Trooper bias, my Ahsoka Tano bias, just my Clone Wars bias overall. It's just, these figures are just so much fun to pose around. And everything I said about the Lieutenant applies here. It is so much fun to just look at. The paint apps are super crisp. The articulation looks great. The proportions are phenomenal. And the paint apps are also pretty good. And I know it may seem just biased on my part for liking these figures just because they're Clone Troopers, but I just have fun, And that's what the magic about toy collecting is, and posing, is that you're able to relive your childhood, that you're able to recreate these amazing moments from the screen, from the comics, anything. And that feeling, there's nothing that could beat it. And these figures bring that to me. And with that comes joy, and it brings me lots of joy. These figures are making me happy. So yeah, easily this 2-pack, a 10 out of 10, would highly recommend. If you do see it in stores, try to price match it to its original $24.99 error price. I managed to get mine for that. So yeah, it's worth a try. Just find that one post from Yakface or something. But yeah, that'll do for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Anything you can do that'll support the channel will be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.